Chocolate chip.
Oh, yeah. What is your message to Republicans who are prepared to block the January 6th commission?
Decisions by reaching agreements which will affect the lives of generations to come. You are in a position of extraordinary power. You can change forever.
North Carolina announced its $100-day incentive, its $100 incentive today. Places that have offered the $100,000. That'd be really good. I'd go back and get vaccinated 3 times. But all kidding aside, offered the $100 to get vaccination have seen an uptick of 25% on daily vaccination rates. She's also dedicated to getting her customers and employees vaccinated, that when they leave the saloon, receptionist, the saloon, they may be going to a saloon, I don't know. I caught part of President Putin's press conference. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable. Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war. I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. So-called Great Recession. The president asked me to be in charge of managing that piece, then President Trump. Excuse me, Freudian slip. That was the last president. He caused, anyway, that was President Obama when I was vice president. I know you're a little younger than I am, but, I've adopted the attitude of the great Negro at the time pitcher in the Negro Leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros, into the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson. His name was Satchel Paige. Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up
permission to make a small incursion into the country?
Good question. That's how it did sound like, didn't it? The most important thing to do, big nations can't bluff, number one. Number two, the idea that we would do anything to split NATO, which would have a profound impact on profound impact on one of Putin's objectives to weaken NATO, would be a big mistake.
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right software to make your
It's now time to check in with the fearless, bold, razor-sharp leader of the free world, the 46th President of the United States, Joe Robinette Biden. Let's listen to his response when asked about Title 42 in relation to illegal immigration.
President, on Title 42, sir, are you considering delaying lifting Title 42?
No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from well, first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department, because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42.
That is just incredible. To be clear, he was asked about Title 42, which is a Trump-era policy that allows the US to quickly expel migrants to their country of origin when they've crossed the border illegally. Biden's answer there was about the appeal on mask mandates on planes, but he also mentioned Title 42. This is what he said, word for word. He said, no, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we'd be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42. And this isn't just misspeaking or a stutter. The man has no clue what he is talking about. Now, let's not forget, the media wanted to ship Trump off to the funny farm because he walked slowly down a ramp. But we've got the current president and his obvious cognitive decline being largely ignored by the bulk of the US media. Biden's weekly gaffe tally is rising. Here he is talking about natural wonders.
You know, our natural wonders inspire, and the reflection inspires our to take action.
But what we love about Joe is that he always knows where he is and who he is talking to.
And we're also joined today by Larson and I know. You're gonna.
And he was again bragging about all the time he has spent with Xi Jinping.
I was with Xi Jinping. I've traveled with 17,000 miles with him and spent more time with any other world leader over a total of, I think, and we're up to 90 some hours of talking or meeting together over the last 6-7 years. And we're in the foothills of the Tibet.
Biden keeps boasting about time spent with Xi, not just in the foothills of the Tibet, as he called it, but also the foothills of the Himalayas.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. And that's we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
So in that short clip from earlier this month, he goes from failing to name the one word that best defines America to lying about the time he has spent with Xi. It's such a bold-faced lie that he has repeated so often that even his friendly media outlets like the Washington Post had to run a gentle fact check. A fact check, mind you, peppered with compliments for Sleepy Joe, but nevertheless, one that found his claim worthy of 3 Pinocchios. That's not good.
President Trump loves America. When he took office, he canceled Obama's apology tour, and a renewed love of country swept the nation. Democrats are back apologizing.
And to trending now, I think it's suddenly becoming obvious. I mean, social media. I want to clear up something. Now, it's usually said, like a cheap shot, politics. Joe Biden has got dementia. The oldest US president in history, he's losing it. But I reckon this issue is really too serious to treat like that because I actually want to know. I know